The Fountain, Day 96, Vulnerable. Once, while in a leadership class, we were asked what we believed to be our greatest strength as a leader. My response was, I feel like my willingness to be vulnerable is my greatest asset. People trust me because I'm honest with them. The room was silent, and I could tell this answer did not satisfy. I immediately thought, how odd is this? When I read the Bible, especially the lives of David and Jesus, I'm constantly struck by their level of vulnerability. David worshiped God in a way that provided much vulnerability. He wrote psalms that are full of honest and vulnerable moments. Jesus left heaven to come to earth as a baby, the most vulnerable state of being. He made himself a living sacrifice, even though he was the only sinless one. He made himself intentionally vulnerable to fulfill what we never could on our own standing. Vulnerability seems to be a hallmark of godliness. We are so dependent on God. This is why it seemed strange to me when my answer was dismissed. It was a revealer that truth wasn't being embraced. If a leader must be one who pretends to have it all together and never wants to admit real pain or disappointment or struggle, then the culture of that place will remain shallow and full of others who feel they must also hide their struggles. Our vulnerability is an invitation to others. The world is pretentious enough. The church body needs the opportunity to feel safe, to be able to share in others' pain and bear others' burdens. As I embark on this next season of life, I'm constantly embracing my vulnerability and my need for God. He's the only one who can hold me up. He knows my heart, so I won't even try to hide from him. When I'm honest with God, I find such freedom, and it's led to him trusting me with more revelation. It carries its own reward. It takes great strength to be vulnerable. It's easier to hide. I choose to be strong. I choose to stretch myself and remain in a humble posture. I desire my life to be an invitation to others, an invitation to dive deeper with God, an invitation to be trusted, an invitation to grow, an invitation to others' honesty. I want my life to be an invitation. The world is full of shallow and fake people. Let's not allow the church to be that way too. I'm not saying we become obsessed with our faults and never change. What I am saying is, when I'm hurting, I'll say so. If I'm feeling weak, I'll say so. All the way, and all in the light of Christ, who is my strength. I won't be stuck in weaknesses, but I find a pathway through them by being honest. The more I hide, the longer it takes to remove the roots in my life. I want to be like Jesus. The more I strive to be Lisa, the less I'm like Jesus. The more I embrace the greatness of God over the smallness of Lisa, the more power I will see break forth in my life. He is my everything, the very breath I breathe. Apart from him, I can do nothing. He is mine, and I'm his. Though he was God, he did not think of equality with God as something to cling to. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave and was born a human being. When he appeared in human form, he humbled himself in obedience to God and died a criminal's death on a cross. Philippians 2, verses 6 through 8.